So many of us are going through health anxiety. It's one of the most common things I work with, and as being a Benzo recovery coach or mental health coach, constantly working with health anxiety. I've dealt with it my whole life. I mean, since I was a kid, I could tell you all kinds of funny stories where I thought I had water on the brain because I had a little cut on the top of my head, but I thought it somehow they had cracked a skull, and it was raining outside and the water got into my brain, and oh my God. I remember having a swollen lymph node in my neck once when I was a kid, sick, and I thought I had cervical cancer. I was just sure of it. Right? And it's funny when you're a kid. As you get to be an adult, it's not so much funny anymore. It's like, I hate this. It's like living with this bully or this spam, or this spamming roommate, this trolling roommate in our head. Just running in all the time, everything you do, and saying, what if this led to this? What if, don't drink too fast, don't eat. What if you choked? What if that rash is something that you feel, that muscle twitch? What if that's something neurological? I mean, it's just constantly triggering you. And then you start to feed off it. I mean, it really creates this magnetism. And we could go on and on. I don't want to spend too much time talking about what health anxiety is. If you're listening to this video, you're probably well aware. And you're well aware of the features. So really, I want to talk about what's the best treatments for health anxiety. And I'll tell you at least two. Right? We can get into many things, but at least two. And one is exposure. And they have something called exposure response prevention, meaning expose yourself to what you're afraid of and then prevent the response, right? Because there's a response. So say I have a twitch in my arm. Oh, God. And I have the thought, what if this is like MS? And then I get online and I start researching MS. And then my anxiety levels are increasing. My adrenaline's increasing. The somatic nature of this stuff, to become psychosomatic in a sense, the twitches start to increase. Or my palpitations. I used to have palpitations. I could go 2 days without a palpitation, and then I would just say the word, think it, boom, within minutes, palpitations are back. It's a kind of like trauma reflex that starts to happen, a limbic system reflex. But then there's a response to it. Get online, start researching heart disorders, heart diseases, MS, neurological stuff. I become more afraid. Symptoms increase. And it's a loop. It's a dance. It's happening over and over. And it's a magnetism. And the fear starts to change the way we think. It starts to take away our clarity. It starts to suppress our GABA and all those other good hormones. And the bad ones, so to speak, start to just become plentiful. They're happening all day. Drip, 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 cortisol. Drip, 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 adrenaline. But you need to expose yourself to your fear. If it's palpitations, you need to learn to sit with it, expose it. Yeah, I'm having a heart palpitation. But don't do anything. Don't do anything about it. Don't research anything. Right? Be there, sit with it, feel it. If you want to talk to yourself positively, that would be great, to say, hey, Occam's razor, the obvious path, the obvious answer. The obvious answer is usually the correct answer. That's Occam's razor. Is this heart palpitation a massive heart problem? Probably not. It's probably the caffeine or the just anxiety or just my psychosomatic nature that, I've been creating a pathway between these two things, between the stimulus, the fear of having a heart palpitation, and then my response to it. There's a connection there, guys. So you want to treat your health anxiety? Do nothing. And like I said, I work with many people with health anxiety. And I tell them, I said, here's the conundrum of what you're in. You have a benign problem. You're really literally afraid of things that don't exist, that will not happen. Right? It's all made up. Is it this? Is it that? No, it's none of that. Should I have another test? Should I see another doctor? Nope. All the tests are going to come back the same way. Your 12th blood work or whatever exam you've had, it's going to keep coming back. But you can't shake it in your mind. The doctors missed something. They had to miss something. Maybe I didn't explain everything to them. Maybe I should go back. I missed that one point. Right? It's the what ifs. And it's buried deep in rumination. And if you're not familiar with my videos on rumination, go check them out. It could be very helpful. I talk a lot about rumination and how to treat rumination. It's a big staple in health anxiety. But if you want to treat health anxiety, stop engaging in your responses, your reactions, your comforting, your soothing. Stop asking for reassurance. Stop getting the blood work. It almost feels crazy because you have to just accept that I might die. Okay, I'm not going to do nothing, but do nothing? What if it leads to something? Yeah, but it leads to nothing. It's not real. That's what you have to keep telling yourself. And it takes a leap of faith to get there, because you have to, okay, so heart problem, I don't have a heart problem. No. What should I do about this? Go live your life. Exercise. Well, exercise with this heart problem? You don't have a heart problem. Yeah, well, I think the doctor missed something. That's what you think, because that's what the limbic system's telling you. And it's telling you that because it's putting chemicals in you that are designed to get you to feel like something's wrong so you can run away from danger. And you might say, well, yeah, okay, fair enough, Dave. But why am I having that? Because you've created this loop. And you are telling your limbic system something's wrong. Right now, it's a relationship in hell. You're saying, I think I might have a neurological problem. I might have a heart problem. Your limbic system says, oh my God, I think something's wrong. Here, I want to make sure you can get to safety. Boom, I'm going to make you feel like something's wrong. You go, oh my God, I feel like something's really wrong. What do I need to do here? I think I need to engage in, whatever the symptom, however that manifests, okay, I think it's heart palpitations. I think it's, a heart problem. I'm going to go back to researching. So we just keep reinforcing this into the limbic. And so the limbic keeps feeding us back this response. And then we take it. It's like ping pong or tennis. We're just going back and forth with this thing. It's a game, guys. You've been sucked into the game of health anxiety. How do you beat it? Stop playing the game. And it's funny, but I tell a lot of my health anxiety suffering clients, if you just got arrested, someone took your phone, locked you in a room for a month, fed you, took care of you, but just kind of took away your devices, you'd pretty much be cured. I mean, at least so in so far that you would break that initial addiction. You would break that initial magnetism, that fog would lift. It would be like coming out of jail after, drying up for a month from heroin addiction. Like you come out of it, you're no longer in the throes of heroin addiction. And that's what anxiety is, guys. Health anxiety is being in the constant throes of withdrawal of an addiction, withdrawals of rumination. You're drinking and you're withdrawing. You're using and you're withdrawing constantly. And you never dry out. And that's why someone who tries these methods I'm talking about, someone who really tries to dry out and says, okay, I hear what you're saying, Dave. So for the next 30 days, I am not going to engage in any of my reassurance. I'm not going to ask my husband or my wife 50 times a day. I'm not going to get on WebMD. I'm not getting any more tests done. I'm not going to avoid things. I'm just going to live my life bravely, almost delusionally, as if I was okay. As if what you're saying, Dave, that this is all in my head. I'm going to live my life as if that's true. And I'm going to make peace with the fear. And I'm just going to, and if you did that, you would see what would happen was you would probably start out really strong for a couple days. And like all addictions, you're going to get hit by that tidal wave back wall, or maybe 3 days, a week, 2 weeks, somewhere in there, you're going to panic, and you're just going to be driven. It's at the highest peak of this withdrawal, and it's like kind of like Richard Pryor's old joke about the crack pipe, talking to him. Come on, Rich. It's trying to bring you back. Come on back. No. They might be wrong. You really might have a neurological problem or a heart problem. Right? And then you'll give in. And it's like running back to the bar. You'll indulge in drinks, aka reassurance seeking, self-soothing mechanisms, tests, whatever it is. And then you're back in it again. So it's as easy and difficult as going 30 days, not engaging in everything and just making peace. It's as easy and difficult as just pretending like an actor that I'm perfectly fine. I'm perfect. It's like a guy in denial who has cancer and doesn't want to admit that he has cancer. I'm fine. I'm not dying. Only in this situation, you actually don't have cancer. You actually are not dying. But damn, you feel like it is. You feel like you do. But again, I ask you, and I'm asking you now, think about it. Why? I just explained it. Why do you feel that way? And I'll remind you, because your limbic system. Because your limbic system is designed to make you feel fear, to make you feel afraid, to make you feel like there's a great impending doom happening or approaching. And it's designed not only to make you feel that, it's designed to get you up and do something about it. And what do you do about it? You engage answers. I got to research more. I've got to ask someone to, I got to call my friends, and I got to talk about this all day, and I need to, I need to purge. And some of us will even be very clever. We'll go to talk to our therapist, and we'll use it as just a clever way to sit there and still drink at the bar. Just real clever. We're talking about it. We're engaging it. We're bringing up the fear. It's masked as treatment, but it's still really just engaging in the old rumination. You see how clever we are? I say it's almost like you go to your friend's house. Hey, can I talk about this alcohol problem I have? And sure, man. You mind if I get a beer? Yeah, come on, let's sit down and drink. Hey, what did you just do there, you clever bastard? Sometimes this is under the radar. We don't even see it most of the times. Other times we kind of know. We kind of know what we're doing. But it's simple because it seems like we're under the guise of help. I'm trying to get help for my health. I mean, everything you're trying to do, all the self-soothing, all the reassurance seeking, all the test, all of it is an act in trying to help yourself, right? It's an act of us trying to help the health anxiety, but not realizing that it's not the math formula that we thought it was. Like I said, there's a cause and effect happening here, and it will not end until you break it. So you want to beat health anxiety, stop engaging in your compulsions, become brave, become delusional if you have to. If you have to fake it till you make it for 30 days, that's fine. Because no matter what you do, no matter what your method is to stop, to prevent yourself from all of this, you're going to be fine because there's nothing wrong with you, right? You just don't feel it. And I think knowing why you don't feel it makes a lot of sense, all right? So think about this. One more analogy, right? You're sitting on a bus, you're traveling on a bus with everyone else, and I come up behind you and I have this needle, right? And I inject you with this little solution, and it's an anger hormone. It's called an anger hormone. I inject you with this. Suddenly, you jump up, and you don't even know why. You're angry as hell. What the hell? This bus is moving too fast, and why are you looking at me? And you're just irate, right? But that anger isn't coming from you. There's no cause there. It doesn't matter because now you're angry. Now you're finding reasons to fight. Now let's go back. Let's change that. And it's not an anger hormone. It's a fear hormone. It's adrenaline. It's cortisol. And I come up to you and I inject you with cortisol. I inject you with adrenaline. I inject you with that fight or flight mechanism. Now what do? You jump up. Oh my God, there's something bad. This bus is going to crash. There's something wrong. There's a bomb on this bus. Or it's going to go over a cliff. Who's this bus driver? What do we know about him? What if he just turns this bus into oncoming traffic? Oh my God. What if he drives us over a bridge? You start panicking. You start hyperventilating, and your eyes are darting left and right, and you're running up and down the aisle, and you're starting now, if that goes on long enough, you start to create these beliefs and these narratives about things. And before you know it, you have no idea why you're there. You're off to the races, my friends. But if you look where it came from you just got injected by a fight or flight chemical. You had your bell rung for no reason. But you're looking for a reason. You're trapped looking for a reason. That's the insanity of health anxiety. That's the maniacalness of it all. That's why mindfulness and exposure response prevention are some of the best two things you can do for health anxiety. Be here present, ground yourself, distract yourself, do anything but your response, right? But you also need to be exposed to it a little bit. It's easy when people will have remission of health anxiety, go months feeling perfect because you have no symptoms, right? Somehow you broke it, for whatever reason, whatever the trigger was, you broke it. But you kind of ran around it. You didn't really face it. You didn't make peace with it. You didn't, every day struggle and work toward seeing the perception of the picture I'm painting right now. For example, every day going, I know I feel these symptoms. I know I have a health anxiety, and I know health anxiety is a reaction of fight or flight of the limbic system. I know it's a Grand Canyon size, river flowing between my fear and my amygdala. And I know what I need to do to beat this. That's what you need to do every day. You need to have that morning prayer, that morning cognitive reframing every day so that you can see it clearly. Because if you don't, man, health anxiety operates unconsciously. It operates with you just panicking. Once you're panicking, you're just running around like you're headless, just like a chicken without a head, flopping. And that's when you're in it. So perspective is key. Exposing through that with that perspective, and then using mindfulness to ground and do nothing about it. I mean, the best treatment for health anxiety is do nothing. Don't engage it. Ignore it. Right? It's the easiest and the most complex thing for a situation, if you want to call it a mental illness, that's the most benign but creates such impact on us.